Fit Rebels, Matt Schifferle here. I want to show you a couple of gifts that I got in the mail the other day. Sometimes Christmas comes a little after. Here, check this out. Brothers of Iron by Joe and Ben Weider. This is an unbelievable book. I highly recommend you go check it out. All the stories of how the Weider brothers, basically rags to riches, created the sport and the art of bodybuilding, and in fact our gym and fitness culture as we know it, largely based on these two guys. So check this out. Right there, inscribed, to Matt. Best wishes, Joe Weider himself. I also got myself the picture here, came with the book as well. Is a handsome looking dude there. Same inscription there, to Matt, best wishes. And I even saved the envelope. Right there, the address, J. Weider. I'm doing this not to show off, you know, these toys that I got and so forth and be like, oh, look at this thing that I got from Joe and everything. The lesson here is that Joe and Ben, these guys are pioneers. They practically created the fitness culture that we know and love today. Gyms, working out, athletes hitting the weight room to get stronger and faster and everything like that. That idea to large public was almost unheard of back in their day. They basically brought that to fruition. The whole point, the whole reason why you can turn on your TV and have, you know, fitness TV and DVDs you can buy on demand and everything like that. I mean, that whole culture is from people like Joe and Ben and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jane Fonda and Bob Hoffman and Jack LaLanne, you know, God rest his soul, and so forth. I'm naming people who basically brought our fitness culture that we know and love to being. But the lesson here is these people, you know, half of them are still here. They're still alive. Our culture, as we know it, is still incredibly young. You know, I always was raised and brought up in our fitness culture with this idea of we figured all this stuff out thousands of years ago. The exercises that we do are so traditional. Stick to the basics. Stick to the stuff that we've known for years and years to work and everything like that. The reality is we haven't known it that long. It's funny because, you know, a lot of dietary theories out now, you know, raw foods and paleo and stuff like that are all on this idea of human beings ate a certain way in certain foods for millions of years, and then roughly 10,000 years ago, things changed and our food supply started to change, and our bodies don't know how to process it and all this kind of stuff, and I kind of only half believe in that stuff. But they talk about changes happening 10,000 years ago as being relatively new. Well, our fitness culture, the whole idea of going to a gym, going to a bench press, lifting a bar over your chest and pressing it for reps is less than a few hundred years old, if that. If that. So if something that's 10,000 years ago is relatively new in our fitness culture, going and hitting the squat rack or the leg press, that's like yesterday in terms of these things. Here's the lesson that I want to really impart with you. Our fitness culture is brand new. It's great. You know, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but we can't get stuck into this idea of there's no room for innovation. You know, there's no room for anything new and great to be invented, that we should stick to the stuff that's been created because we figured it all out years ago and that's as good as we're going to get. That'd be like, you know, Bill Gates coming out with the first Windows version and being like, okay, that's good enough. Or Henry Ford creating the Model T and saying, all right, the Model T is the car that we're all going to be driving, and here in 2012, we're still driving Model Ts. That's kind of the same situation that we're in our fitness culture. We haven't innovated enough. We haven't been imaginative enough because we've been told too much. Stick with what was developed years and years ago, as if Moses himself came down on stone tablets and said, this is proper bench pressing form, you know, or this is how you squat with a barbell on your back. Nothing's written in stone. Be creative. You have the license to do it. The Weider brothers sure as hell did it. You know, people come to me all the time and like, how can you tell people, go off and create your own workout programs, create your own equipment, create your own exercises? What gives you the right to think that we have the ability to do that? Joe and Ben sure as hell did. You know, and that was less than 100 years ago. So if we could do it 100 years ago, we sure as hell can do it today. Nothing's set in stone. So be creative. The best equipment, the best exercises and workout programs aren't even invented yet. We're still in the Stone Age when it comes to knowing how to get our bodies in shape. So if you have ideas, if you have creativity, use it. Don't get stuck in the past. Draw off of it and go forward. That's the lesson for today. Questions down below. Till then, be fit, live free.